Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down the badges in the badge system, specifically in my team. So some of these that might be C tier on here, I like a little bit better than the ones at B tier, and I'll explain all of those here in a second. But if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please smash the subscribe button as we're on the road to 35,000 subscribers. So this idea came about when I was thinking, a lot of people are new to the game, and then I went into the auction house. I saw John Stockton with like Hall of Fame back down Punisher, and so I got to thinking, I was like, okay, obviously some people aren't super knowledgeable about what badges matter and how to apply badges and how to know what badges to apply to players, and if they only have 5 badge spots, which are the most important badges that that specific player needs. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. Now I have NBA 2KLab.com up today. They rank their badges here, and a lot of these are for the Pro-Am type of thing. As you guys can see, this is Park Pro-Am, and then this doesn't have my team, I don't think. I swore they had it last year where it had my team as well. Let's see here. And it doesn't look like it has my team, but that's fine because it has basically what we need here. So shooting wise specifically, range extender, hot zone hunter, and catch and shoot, these guys 2K Lab has at S tier, which I agree with all of those. I think though flexible release is close, because here's the thing. With a guy like George Mikan, for example, flexible release is a very, very important badge. It truly is, because for most of the community, it's hard to green consistently for most of the community. I'm saying I don't even green consistently. So if I don't green that consistently, the majority of the community is not going to green consistently. And so flexible release is obviously a very, very important badge as well. And what that does is if you kind of mistime the release, slightly early, slightly late, you're going to get a better chance of making it, even if it's not green. Range extender obviously is how far back you can shoot threes. Hot zone hunter is a boost. It's a boost in your hot zones. But the problem is, here's the thing. I saw a Steph Curry the other day. I had a friend ask me. A friend text me and asked me, Ty, is it worth it to apply Hall of Fame hot zone hunter to Amethyst Steph Curry? Look at his hot zones. Guys, okay, let's think about this for a second. He has cold zones from everywhere, doesn't have hot zones. Why would you apply a hot zone hunter to a Steph Curry? I can look here and see badge descriptions. Hot zone hunter. Let's see what it does. Okay. Boost the shot percentage for attempts taken in players' favorite spots. Shots that are taken in players' hot zones are given a boost. So if you have no hot zones, why are you applying that to a player with no hot zones? It just, in my opinion, doesn't make any sort of sense. So you've got to kind of think about what badges you're applying to certain players, and I'll go over them here in a sec. But as you guys can see, I like Green Machine, Deadeye. Both of those are obviously A tier. Now, some things I disagree with. Pick and popper, it's a decent enough badge. Deep fade, steady shooter, I do not like either of those badges. And I know that's Park, whatever. I don't like either of those badges at all. Corner specialist, obviously, it boosts shots from the corner, so it's a decent boost. Difficult shots, I'm not super high on that badge as well. Hot start, I personally like hot start a lot. I don't know why it's in C tier. Obviously, NBA 2K Lab has some reason for it. Volume shooter, I personally like volume shooter in the my team scene as well. Slippery off ball, I think it's personally an underrated badge, especially in my team. You guys have heard me talk highly on volume shooter, or on slippery off ball particularly. Ice and veins, pump fake maestro, deep fades, steady shooter. None of them are even worth applying to any player, and I'll explain why in a sec. Let's move on to playmaking badges, in which quick first step is obviously the most important badge, and it's not even close. Quick first step and then the rest. Now, dimer is obviously important, but I don't know if dimer is more important than, let's say, a handles for days, for example. The fact that handles for days is in B tier, to me, isn't quite right, because handles for days is very, very important. For a Darren Williams, for example, I was playing in a tournament 2 days ago. I hadn't badged my Darren Williams out. I put gold handles for days on him. Made a just significant difference. So with players you handle the ball a lot with, you're going to want handles for days. Needle threader obviously is important. Tight handles, unpluckable, bailout. Floor general, I'm not as high on. For example, I'm higher on handles for days than floor general. Space creator is a decent badge as well. It creates space, with hesitations and whatever. Downhill, stop and go, obviously are decent badges as well. Lob City Passer is an important badge as well. And honestly, I think they got most of these right. This tier list here is pretty accurate, specifically to my team as well. Dream Shake, Postman Technician, Pass Fake Maestro, Flash Passer, Ankle Breaker. I'm not super high on any of those. Break Starter, on the other hand, I like Break Starter, and as you guys can see in the Pro-Am, this is Park, this is Pro-Am. Pro-Am, you got Break Starter up here, but I still think handles for days, even in Pro-Am they have it moved up, is very, very, very important. Now looking at NBA 2K Labs defensive badges here, first of all, let's see. Intimidator, clamps, rebound chaser, brick wall, and pogo stick are all on S tier for them, which I don't disagree with anything. I think defensively in general, there's a lot of good and important badges. Even like the rebounding badges this year, a worm, rebound chaser, even what's the other one? Box. Those are all very, very important badges in the rebounding aspect. Specifically, lightning reflexes is one I've never really understood. Chase down artist, it's not bad. I don't want to say chase down artist is terrible. In my opinion, this year it's more valued and invaluable than any year before. Defensive leader, off-ball pest, trapper, and heart crusher. Heart crusher being bronze to me is insane. Heart crusher is an S tier defensive badge, and so for Park Pro-Am, I don't know why it's in C tier because it is so overpowered. So heart crusher for me is S tier as well. Again, I think they got it pretty right overall. Tireless defender, pickpocket, moving truck, poster locked, and pick dodger are all decent badges, but I think at A tier you're gonna see better badges overall. I truly do believe that. Obviously, I think interceptor is a super important badge, and you guys have known that forever. As we move on into the finishing badges, before we go any further, finishing is the last thing I would worry about if I'm you guys. Okay, but we're gonna go to the Pro-Am side of things. And the first thing I notice when I see Pro-Am, I see Showtime is bronze, okay, at C tier. They got Showtime at C tier, which doesn't make sense to me. They have the same thing, Heart Crusher at C tier as well. And so that, in my opinion, already makes this list invalid. Showtime is by far and away my favorite finishing badge, and it's not even close. But as you guys can see, contact finisher, fancy footwork, both S tier badges. I'm not going to disagree with that. What I would say, consistent finisher for me is an important badge. So consistent finisher, I don't even think it's available in the auction house right now because it's glitched, but it really, if you get a bad layup time, and it won't affect it because you have consistent finisher. It's kind of like the flexible release for layups in a sense. But as you guys can see, A tier badges according to 2K Labs is Acrobat, Giant Slayer, Pro Touch. Pro Touch, it gives you a boost for successfully timing a layup, and Slithery Finisher. Now, Back Down Punisher, Lob City, like all of these, most of these, Back Down Punisher, Putback Boss, Drop Stepper, Cross Key Scorer, Deep Hooks, Pick and Roller. If you set a lot of screens, it's still not it's not a super important badge, but it's a badge I put on like all my centers. But don't get me started about how bad Teardropper is. This is a badge you should never ever apply to anyone. And so I went over all of those badges pretty quickly, and so I'm gonna give you guys a final breakdown on Pink Diamond Blake Griffin. Okay. So Blake Griffin obviously has a 3-ball, got a good driving dunk, 85 speed, 68 lateral quickness, and when he becomes obtainable, he has hot spots from everywhere. So if you have a hot zone hunter, this is a perfect time. If you have Hall of Fame hot zone hunter, perfect time. I'm not going to tell you to apply it to him, but he would be a perfect type player. If any point guard has hot spots from everywhere, hot zone hunter is perfect. But as you guys can see, out of his finishing badges on the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, my favorite Hall of Fame finishing badge that he has, the two are Showtime and Contact Finisher. In my opinion, for Blake Griffin, those are going to be the best because Showtime, anytime you get a Showtime dunk, a flashy type of dunk, their team takeover goes up. So like if Steph Curry is just standing in the backcourt when Blake does a 360 dunk, Steph's going to see his takeover meter go up. Shooting wise, he comes with catch and shoot, corner specialist, flexible release, which is a super important badge, hot zone hunter already on gold, very important. So what badges would I look to apply to Blake Griffin shooting wise? Range extender is the first one you got to look at. Then after that, I mean, he doesn't really need anything. Deadeye, maybe a hot start. But other than that, he doesn't really need anything. So I would apply range extender and then look and see, is there any other badges that he needs? So playmaker wise, as you guys can see, he does have the quick first step on silver. You're going to want to upgrade that one to gold. And that's going to be key for Blake Griffin, who has good speed. He has good speed. So if you overclose out because he has a good 3-ball range extender, he's going to attack the rim every single time. But as far as what else Blake needs, he doesn't need bailout, dream shake, floor general, handers for days, needle threader, space creator, stop and go, tight handers, or unpluggable. I wouldn't apply any of these playmaking badges to him. Obviously, I'd upgrade all these, but I'm not going to apply any additional. They're just not worth it. Defensively, this is where you're really going to want to maximize how good Blake Griffin is. As you guys can see, he has Hall of Fame chase down artist and pogo stick, a ton of other gold badges. He can get clamps, defensive leader, interceptor, intimidator, off-ball pest, pick dodger, pickpocket, tireless defender, and trapper. If an inside big, a center particularly, they need intimidator, okay? They need intimidator. So that's the first badge I'm putting on Blake Griffin. I'm honestly putting intimidator on Blake before range extender. So put intimidator on him, put range extender on him. Let's say he has 5 total badge upgrades. You get 3 more, okay? What are the other most valuable badges that he can get? Maybe clamps, interceptor, and then maybe, I don't think it defensively needs anything else. You could put maybe tireless defender on him. But other than that, you might, if he does get one more, you might want to put a, deadeye on him, possibly hot start, something like that. But that's kind of what I would look towards. But with Blake, the badges that I'm least excited about for a Blake Griffin center, teardropper. He doesn't need teardropper. Ice in veins is just a terrible badge in general. Never applies steady shooter. The rest he could use whatever. And then playmaking wise, bailout, that's a decent badge for Blake in case you get a contested shot. Dream shake, floor general, handles for days. He's not going to be handling the ball. Needle threader, I guess. Space creator, a lot of these are just like, he could definitely go without. Even for Tim Duncan, for example. He can get, 5 new badges? Somebody asked me what badges would I look to put on Tim Duncan. The first thing, obviously, he comes with range extender. I'm looking at his hot zones, has hot spots from 3 out of 5. I'm honestly applying hot zone hunter. So from the top of the key and corners, he is knocked out. So I'm applying that. Probably applying flexible release as well because I know I'm not that green with Tim Duncan's release. Then I'm looking immediately down to defense. What does he need? Pogo stick is probably a badge that I would apply on him, as well as maybe interceptor. And then the rest, you're looking at quick first step maybe for a Tim Duncan as well, but that's really it. You're not going to want to apply a lot of finishing badges to people. And that's the one thing I tell a lot of people. Look at the finishing badges. Acrobat, consistent finisher, deep hooks, fancy whip, footwork, fast break finisher, giant slayer, pro touch, showtime, slayer finisher, teardropper. None of those really excite me because how often is Tim Duncan going to get a showtime dunk? Not often. So the rest of them are just, they're okay. But I think obviously shooting wise and defensive wise are where you need to focus. And if you have a point guard, obviously playmaking wise is a very, very valuable one as well. I'm going to end you guys with one player here on kind of what badges Deron Williams needs, okay? After you upgrade everything, just the new badges that you're looking for Deron Williams. He doesn't come with range extender. He needs that. So apply range extender on him, apply flexible release on him, apply deadeye on him. Those 3 badges for point guards are very, very, very important, especially deadeye, because if you're going to come around screens peeking, you're going to want to make sure the contest isn't as, is as minimal as possible. So those are the first 3 I'm looking at. And then for Deron Williams, he needs handles for days, okay? He absolutely needs it. So those are four badges already that he needs. Now, if he gets 5, let's say, I don't know if he can get 4 or 5, but if he can get 1 more badge, you're looking at defensively. What can he do for me? Maybe intimidator. Maybe, that's probably the main one on defense I would look to give him is that intimidator. Everybody can use intimidator, to be honest with you, but then you got to prioritize things. Is that more important than, let's say, a stop and go needle threader type badge, or even is it more important than a hot start? You just got to kind of value things, or even a showtime. Value things, see what badge works for you, because if you get a lot of flashy dunks with Deron Williams, probably gonna want to put showtime on him. But if not, you can kind of mix and match, see what works for you. But in my opinion, the badge system for a lot of people is difficult to understand. And I hope this video helps you guys prioritize which of these badges are the most important for your players. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, kind of concerning badges. Badges are super, super expensive. So I told you guys George Hill is very, very good when you get him all the way upgraded. Hot spots from everywhere, can get any badge in the game. If you apply range extender, green machine, and some defensive badges, he can become incredible. But the problem is you're going to spend over 100 and 150k MT to fully badge out George Hill. So instead of doing that, instead of fully badging out George Hill, in my opinion, it would be smarter, in my opinion, to just go, I get they're different players, but just look at the Pete Maravich, what he comes with. He already comes with range extender. I get he can't get clamps or anything like that. You're going to end up spending less MT fully badging out Pete Maravich. I get he's not going to have clamps, but he's still going to be better than George Hill. He truly will. Now, obviously, George Hill is a great budget point guard, but you're going to spend a ton of MT on badges specifically. So you got to kind of prioritize which players you badge out. As far as the George Hill is concerned, if you fully badge him out, absolutely he's a top 10 point guard in the game. But an unbadged out Pete Maravich is already there. Plus, you're going to be able to sell him for more. So you just kind of got to value which players you badge out. All right, that is going to wrap it up for my badge video today. I hope you guys did enjoy it and find it somewhat useful on what badges I personally prioritize and what to do with them, how to apply them to certain players. Remember, if you have a Hall of Fame badge, be very, very selective on what player you give it to. For example, the new Tim Duncan that came out, he's a pretty good player to put, like, let's say an Intimidator on. I don't know if he has Hall of Fame Intimidator or a Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser. Those types of badges are good to put on a Tim Duncan, because then if you go to sell them, you're going to see some good value in that. Drop a like on the video, comment your favorite badges in NBA 2K21 down below. I love you guys, and have a blessed day.